Now, though, we welcome back Karen McMillan and Miller Mackenzie-Brown from NZ Book Lovers, who have 3 books to review for us today. Morning, you two.
Hello.
This is one of my favourite segments. I love getting some good recommendations for books. Karen, let's start with you. Tell us about the author of White Horses, Rachel Treasure. What a cool name.
It's a cool name, isn't it? It's a real name, it's not a pseudonym.
Ooh.
So Rachel Treasure, she's an Australian writer and she writes books that are set in rural Australia. She's got a really interesting background. She's been a journalist, a radio broadcaster, a truffle sniffer, dog handler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's throw that one out there.
It took me a while to figure out what it was.
Yeah, a camp cook, a drover and a farm manager, and this is her 7th novel.
Okay, so what is White Horses about?
So the main character, her name's Drift, and she's been raised by her father since the age of 11 after the mother disappeared. So she's had this really unconventional upbringing. So she's been working alongside her dad as a cattle drover on the coastal outline of Western Australia. So it's been a really isolated life, grounded to the land and nature, but it all changes when she turns 21.
Ooh, so what happened?
Yeah, so unfortunately her dad has been struggling with sorrow and grief, and he's been hitting the booze a bit much. So, and unfortunately he attempts suicide. And after that she's really torn between staying and caring for her dad or, you know, going out and starting a new life without him. So she really wants change in her life. So she gets change when she meets this very handsome stockman. His name's Eli. And we discover in the book he's running away from a celebrity lifestyle. So the next minute, you know, this country girl is kind of caught up in these lies and mysteries, and it's a very baffling world for her. So Drift is, it's all about her really. She's a young woman forging her way in very much a man's world. She's got to overcome many obstacles and heartbreak and betrayal. And the author's love of the land really comes out in this book. It's wonderful, and it's a tender love story. It's also a story about forgiveness and starting over.
Oh, it sounds really cool. So who do you think is going to like it?
Look, if you like McLeod's Daughters on TV or any books by Jane Harper, you're going to love this book.
Excellent. I'm going to put it on my list of things I must be reading. Now, let's head to this cool-looking book, The World's Worst Teachers by David Walliams. He's written 3 books about the world's worst children, hasn't he? But now he's turned his attention to teachers.
Yes, in his introduction he tells us that these are the most loathsome collection of grown-ups ever.
Ooh.
He says, so read on if you dare.
So can you tell us a little bit about the stories?
So the first story is about Mr. Penn's balls. Mr. Penn, every moment is taken up with his obsession with balls. He has a deep loathing of them, which goes back to him being hit in the head with a demolition ball when he was a child. So he bans all balls, but then he starts banning anything circular like marbles and peas. It all goes too far when he locks a boy with a very round head in a cupboard. So the children at his school have to take action to stop his mayhem.
Excellent. And what about some other favourites?
So Deputy Headmistress sees as she fumes that the headmistress is about to celebrate 50 years in the job that she has always wanted. The celebration sends Miss Seath on a detention rampage. There is also the story about Mr. and Mrs. Lovey-Dovey, who forced the entire school to go to their 9-hour wedding and watch it again and again on video in class.
Well, that's a terrible teacher right there. So what's your verdict?
With colour illustrations throughout by Tony Ross, this is a trademark David Walliams book with very funny humour. And yeah,
You loved it, didn't you?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Okay, can you show me some of the pictures in the book, Miller?
Yeah, I'll just find, this is
Actually, why
One
don't
of
do you want me to
them.
grab those? I can show this. Here we go.
Dr. Dread in the Chair of 1,000 Farts.
Oh.
If you like farts, there you go.
Who doesn't like a good fart story, Miller? Everybody does, don't they? Oh, and look, there's Miss Seath right there in her detention rampage.
Look at her.
She's not that nice.
Fabulous.
No.
I love it. And it feels nice and chunky and solid. I like it very much. Thank you so much, Miller. Now, this one right here. I've got one of the original ones of these, I think, dating back years and years and years. Food in a Minute, the new every day. It's a bit of an institution, really, isn't it?
It sure is. It's been part of our lives for 22 years. So this brand new book has got, you know, everyday classics, but, you know, new recipes as well that hook into food trends.
So what is the philosophy behind this new book?
So it's a modern collection of recipes that's simple, practical and delicious. So I was just saying, again, it's about that mix of like their everyday favourites with new recipes. And I think the magic to these recipes is they're simple and they're achievable. So the food editor, Di Swan, she has really done a great choice of recipes in this.
So it's easy stuff that you can actually make with ingredients that you've probably got in your pantry, isn't it?
Absolutely. Look, I looked through it and I'm a pretty rubbish cook, and I reckon I could do pretty well with all of these.
So what are your favourites, considering you're a rubbish cook? What do you like the most? Or maybe Miller, you can answer this one.
Super corn fritters make a great light lunch or dinner and are a great way to enjoy your veggies.
Yum, corn fritters, I love that.
Yeah. And I like the one pot Italian dish with the chicken. So
there it is. Whoa.
it looks really good. And I like the fact that it's one pan dish. You know, it's easy to make. You're not going to make a big mess in your kitchen. 15 minutes prep time, that really appeals to me.
Yeah.
15 minutes?
15
really?
minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Miller, you can try making that one.
Yeah, maybe.
What's your other favourite?
So double chocolate beetroot cupcakes. They actually look delicious and they sound easy to make. So Karen and I are going to make them in the future.
And beetroot and chocolate go together really well.
It like sounds whoa, but it's actually really good.
It just makes them nice and moist and yummy. Oh, that
And
sounds
we actually
delicious.
do a lot of baking together.
Maybe, how's this for an idea? Maybe next time you come in and actually bring some of those beetroot chocolate cupcakes.
See if I can manage them on the bus.
And there's a burger recipe too, yeah?
Oh, I think this looks really good, and it's a veggie burger. So, and the buns are. The patties are made from chickpeas, and I think that's really yummy. But you know, they've got beetroot as well, and I don't think a burger's not a burger till you add some beetroot. So that ticks the big box for me.
I agree as well. So overall, what's the verdict on this one?
So this is real food that's going to encourage people to get into the kitchen and just get around with family and friends and enjoy good food.
Yeah, and they do say it's smart cooking for busy people, don't they? So I guess that's what it is. I know all that. Hang on, there we go. That could be an easy one for me. Easy teriyaki salmon.
It says easy.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that says easy in the front is good by me. Well, thank you both so much for joining us, as always. Great recommendations. And if you would like to win a copy of one of the books reviewed this morning, go to our Facebook page. And for the full book reviews, you can head to nzbooklovers.co.nz, or to buy these and many others, you can check out mighty8.co.nz.